Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha, Rakah Kwadash Mama. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Double honors to my apostle and elder as well, Harwan Ben Yasha Allah, the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. All right. And salutations to the fellow Akim, Atwafim, and children, Bunyam, that believe in truth and sincerity. And you see the title, it says, Mark Zuckerberg's set record, spending $170 million on billionaire bunker mansion in Florida. Mark Zuckerberg has reportedly acquired an opulent $170 million mega mansion on Miami's billionaire Bunker Island. All right, so this is a specific area of Bunker Island. Not sure if it's over there like Star Island in that area or region, but whatever the case may be, it's a lot of other prominent figures, idols here in Babylon the Great. The wealthy, the elitists are preparing and building bunker homes. The home is located only 3 doors down from other tech magnate Jeff Bezos, Tom Brady, and Ivanka Trump will also be nearby neighbors. The Meta co-founder and his wife, Priscilla Chan, bought the home for well under its initiated listing price of $200 million. According to the Robb report, Dr. Aaron Rollins, a cosmetic surgeon who created the Aeroscope body contouring procedure, and his wife, Maureen Rollins, a Miami real estate agent, previously owned the estate. The couple reportedly put the property up for sale in November of 2025 before they even completed the mansion. They brought the, but that's neither here nor there. It was once owned by singer Julio Iglesias, 2020, for more than $30 million. Reporters that records show Mark Zuckerberg's acquisition of the home, which closed on March 2nd, is the most expensive residential real estate transaction ever in Miami-Dade County. The previous record was $120 million. There's a little news clip, but it's called the Bunker House, a bunker mansion. Designer Ferris, designed the roughly 28,000 square foot compound, right? And all these homes and these are expensive tents, right? And he is known for creating highly personalized homes for wealthy clients, such as Drake's lavish estate in Toronto. From the limestone facade and grand architectural proportions to the meticulously curated interiors, every detail showcases modern artistry and exceptional craftsmanship. The home's listing, right, an idol, all right? Wicked hands. Right, let me create this, let me create that. That's how man thinks. Instead of giving the homage to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. It's going to James 5:1, how ye rich, man, right? Because your miseries is at hand, right? You building ovens for yourselves that ultimately New Jerusalem go have to clean up, right? The elect go clean up, man. We go search you out of those holes. You go be for ransom, man. You going into captivity according to Revelations chapter 13, verse 9 and 10. It says, this classically inspired residence offers endless views, indoor, outdoor living, and a sense of privacy and sophistication. But the Lord see you as everyone else. And it says the original plans for this house included a 1,500-gallon aquarium, a library, own secret passageway, right? These little weird houses with bookshelves you push, and there's a whole nother room behind it. Probably got tunnels that can connect to the other homes in the area, right? Like rumored to be in Calabasas, roughly, allegedly. A private dock, a gym, a jazz lounge, right? The life underground, per se. A hair salon, a spa suite, with the Himalayan salt wall sauna. Oh boy. One of the first scriptures I want to get is the book of Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 19 is the point. But we'll read up to, it say, a day of reckoning coming. It says, we'll read up to verse 12. All right. I really wanted 19 and 21 really being the point, but we'll just quick read this last end of this chapter. It says, a day of reckoning coming for the Lord. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah of hosts meaning armies, right? Troops, shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, right? You know, i.e. Esau, Edom, the elitists, 2/3 of our people who follow his way as the heathen, right? And upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, right? It go be brought low because the Lord don't care about your title in this matrix, how much money you make in this matrix per year. None of that is go get you a ticket, an entrance into the kingdom of heaven, all right? The kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai that's getting ready to be established. It's verse 13, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fence wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, right? And the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day, right? You know, pride coming before destruction. You know, the Lord wants to show his power, not only in us being, you know, the lesser and being put on the back burner in this society, but he's going to make an example of those who are rich in this society, man, who are high-minded, man, right? It says the scriptures speak on woe to them, woe being into destruction. Woe represents destruction, all right? Who are haughty, who are high-minded, who are, you know, lamenting, you know, to return back, you know, not wanting to return back, pertaining to 2/3 of our people to the Heavenly Father's ways and laws, statutes, and commandments, all right? All that's going to be brought low. For example of those who went into the house of mourning, they're going to be fed, all right, taken care of in these days to come. And those who are in the house of mirth, they go get the laugh now, cry later, ultimately, all right? They go be brought low, all right? Verse 18, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, right? You go utterly abolish those idols because you go see that it has benefited you nothing. All right, that's 2/3 of our people, i.e. as the heathen, man. Over there in India, I want to say it was like shortly right after or during the Plan Lenin, you had them bulldozing all those statues and idols, right, through the streets, because they the whole humanity, all right, the manifestations of it is gonna understand that, you know, at the end all be all right, who the sons of the living power are, you know. Isaiah 2 and 19 is verse 19, and they shall go into the holes, and here's the point, of the rocks, right, and into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord, right? They fear the Lord. They know what's coming, but they're not even telling the people. But these people who are haughty, high-minded, and got all the wealth, they're preparing for that day, right? They're all hirelings. They all sold out to this system. So that what they're getting ready to, they're preparing the holes of the rocks, and they're getting ready to go into the caves of the earth. Right? That's ultimately their dwelling places, right? To be a cave dweller pertaining to Edom. For fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Because they know he's coming back, right? With great glory. and for the glory of his majesty, right? We spoke on that glory and his majesty in the previous lessons, right? Going into how the Lord is dictating these oligarchs and these kings of the earth to usher in the end all be all, man. Prophecy, World War III. When he arises to shake terribly the earth, right? That's what he's getting ready to do, man. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard when the Lord sweep this place like a besom of destruction, man. When the Lord denuclearizes the earth, because that's what he's preparing to do as he created the smith that blew off the coals. Isaiah 54:16, pertaining to, roughly paraphrasing, all right, of the German scientists, the Temanites, right, a tribe of Edom within the nation of Esau, who post World War II, right, and during the nuclear arms race, to where now we have the Lord is getting ready to denuclearize the earth, man. They was able to split the atom, all right, being the point to make the first atomic bomb, all right, to initiate big man and little man on Japan, and this is the way they're going out, the way they came in. Isaiah 2:20, in that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, right? Because it's good. It's just as good as the nocturnal animals, man. Things of the night, things of darkness with no light in it. Without light, you have no sense of direction of where you're going. Isaiah 2:21, to go into the clefts of the rocks, right, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of, right? And this is a madman. Look at Neuro 47 and how he's losing his cool. He's all over the place. Look at it's a video that's been going viral, all right, on one of the senators had broke a Marine, an ex-Marine arm, all because he's before the Senate, you know, complaining on how nobody wants to fight for the eyes, right? You got to be careful with what we're saying, all right? You know, them over there, right? The 48ers. This is Revelations chapter 6. I start at verse 13 just to get a point. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, right? When she is shaken of a mighty wind. That's how those ICBM missiles, them intercontinent ballistic missiles, are go rain down from the satellites, from the Shemayim, as the scriptures speak on how the Lord says he's gonna bathe his sword in heaven, roughly paraphrasing, all right? You know, so again, this is how the Lord direct and ordain and move the hearts, the la'av, the mind of man, to perform his will, to perform his majesty, his righteous indignation, all right? So that's why you have here in this realm, you have the protagonist and the antagonist. You have people that's built for honor, and you go have people that's built for dishonor. You go have people that was used for the Lord's purpose of righteousness and that he's going to accept, and you go have people that the Lord used for an example to push his notion of what wickedness is, man, as an example. All right? 2/3 of our people, the heathen, all right? Mainly the ambassador of the heathen being Esau, Edom, all right? But this is Revelation 6:13, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, right? Those stars talking about the missiles. And the heaven departed as a scroll, right? That's your nuclear fallout. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, right? And said unto the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, right? The Lamb being Yahushua, as he coming with great glory, man. Backed by Michael, right? Under the top archangel, Ma'aka Allah, meaning God-like power, right? For the great day, in this verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand, right? Who gonna be able to stand? I'm gonna end off with the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 1, all right? Misuse of riches, because your money can't build you safety. You know, the book of Amos 5 and 18 speaks on woe to you who desire the day of the Lord, man. For what end is it for you? You know, they desire that day even so much so that they're preparing and using their wealth, all right, all the things that they have done here as far as wickedness to accumulate that wealth. They're taking that wealth to thinking they're going to protect themselves or save themselves or run away from the Lord. This is James 5 and 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Right? It's a witness against you. It's actually a evidence of you being the wicked that the earth was given into the hand of for this particular time, for this particular eons, right? Age that we're ultimately getting ready to end. So this verse 3 again, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. And I read the verse 6, and it says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth, right? And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And you go into the term Sabaoth, it means armies, troops, all right? And that's what we do. We cry and sigh, meaning sigh going into speak. We crying out to the Lord, all right, in these lessons, out there on the highways and byways, week in and week out, through prayer, our solemn assemblies, for him to hear our testimony, man, our cause, as he know it, right? But it's ultimately to bring judgment and salvation. So Sabaoth from the Greek, G4519.
Strong's G 4519. Sabaoth. Sabaoth.
Lord of the armies of, as those who are under the leadership and protection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, maintain his cause in war. So our prayers entered into the Lord of armies, troops, all right? Spiritual armies, spiritual troops, right? What they worried about, i.e. Unidentified air phenomena, UAPs, so on and so forth, which is a chariot in the scriptures, man, the emergency vehicle of the Lord. Verse 5, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been one-tongue, right? You lived your blessing. All right, as Isaac gave you the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven, you lived your blessing, and Jake had no partaker in that blessing. We was written 3/5 of a man in your constitutional law that you revised, that you manipulated, that was supposedly stemmed from the Lord's law. You done nothing right. You can do nothing to declare the Lord's statutes, roughly paraphrasing. So now that your blessing is done with, You want our blessing too, the typical niggard. But hey, as we had no partaking in your blessing, you're not going to have partaking in ours, man, i.e. everlasting life, the kingdom, the brooks and honey, right? Multiple wives, health and wealth, man. Right? Because why? You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been one time, right? You've been in the house of mirth. You are the house of mirth. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Even so, you think you go protect yourself from the day of judgment. You can buy your way out. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you, right? Even much so, you trying to go into a new world order. That's why the Lord got to show up, as no flesh will be saved if he don't. You want to put you want that yoke, right? From the physical yoke, and now you trying to even go to an even more deeper spiritual yoke. And the Lord ain't gonna allow you to do it, man. You got bounds that you can't pass. But Shalom, Hapatah, and DTA to the next one, man. Mark Zuckerberg building the oven for himself.